Welcome to episode 2 of What's in the Fridge. Today, we are actually going to make a breakfast for dinner meal, and we are going to, I kind of already took a pre-glance, but I've got some quinoa and some bacon and some veggies. So we are going to scramble it all up and mix it together and kind of do a bacon and egg stir fry. So I am going to bake my bacon in the toaster oven, and then I'm going to fry everything up in the frying pan and everything like that. It is just me for this evening, so I'm only gonna do probably like 1, maybe 2 eggs, a couple pieces of bacon, and then some smaller peppers. I do have my peppers pre-cut and prepped, so I will do all of that for the slicing and dicing kind of thing to put them into the scramble. But otherwise, it's going to be pretty simple and easy. It would generally take about 20 to 30 minutes to make this dish. So enjoy and let's go. So here I have some quinoa that was already pre-cooked. I did some stuffed peppers not that long ago, so I'm going to use that. And then I have a tomato. I'm going to add some tomato in there. I have spinach. I always love adding some spinach into my egg scramble because for me it just adds a really nice, add some more of the greens to it, right? So I'm going to cut, again, as I said, it's literally just me tonight. So I'm gonna take, and that's all I'm gonna do for each pepper, because for me individually, I don't eat a lot, and I mean, whatever I don't cook, I would end up saving kind of for the week. So this is actually also a really great meal prep idea. So if you want something super quick and easy in the morning, then if you have more of like a grab and go type of scenario, if you work away from home, but ultimately we have, like, when doing this, you can actually cook more. I'm just gonna move you over here so that you can kind of actually see me at the same time. Yeah, if you work out of the home and you have to leave in the morning, sometimes it can be hard to eat healthy, or you're on the run and stuff like that. So allowing yourself to meal prep and have something where you've got like some eggs with some veggies and some quinoa and stuff like that, like you can toss that into a wrap. You can toss that into muffin tins and actually create like breakfast muffins. You can do big ones and mini ones, like really whatever suits your fancy. And they are phenomenal grab and go, even if you've got like kids and stuff, right? Because you just pre-make it all. And then especially in the oven with the muffins, when you put it in and you bake them, you can even freeze them. So then you're just tossing 2 of those in your bag in your lunch kit and you warm them up. They're just like boom, done, and they're fantastic. So I'm gonna get my bacon prepped. I have my pan. I'm going to put tinfoil on it so that it's nice and easy to clean, and I'll see you in a few. Okay, so I have my bacon all prepped. I've laid it out. I'm going to turn on my oven. I actually have a bacon selection, but otherwise I set it to 375, and so I'm going to preheat that. Now, as that is preheating, I've also grabbed a mushroom. I've got my peppers as well as my tomato. Now, I personally use the Cutco knives because I love and adore them because cut super easy. So, then what I do with my tomato is I actually cut down into it, not all the way, but I'm going to cut it into slices this way, and then I turn it and I slice down again. I cut 4 to 5 times across. And then what you can do is when you put it on its side and you go to cut, then you're going to get all of these beautiful, nice little pieces. So I might be making a little bit of a mess. I'm just going to cut it all up because I will probably end up using the rest of it in like a pasta or something, or I might just eat it. Eat it with green salt would be delicious. So, I'm cutting up your tomatoes. Now, you don't have to add them all into your dish. Add as much as you want. Like I said, I will probably put some in, and then the rest I will keep to put into a dish at a later date. And then I'm going to take the same knife. I'm going to slice my peppers so I can prep those. I'm going to throw every vegetable on the floor. So I'm just gently cutting. I do have music. There goes my oven, so it is ready to rock and roll. I'm going to toss that in there on the middle shelf. And then whether you do it in like a toaster oven or even a regular oven, I mean, if you really wanted to, in this case, you could fry it just right in the frying pan and then add your vegetables and everything after. So there's really however you feel the call to do it. Tomatoes are so yummy. Not even with the tomatoes, if you find that you've got some that aren't quite right. So, good to go. I'm not going to need all of those tomatoes, so I am going to take some and put it in a container. There we go. All right. I'm gonna put a lid on that. Put it in the fridge. There's my lid. All right. Now with the mushroom, I like to cut the stem off, and then I cut them in half, and then I slice and dice to add that to my dish as well. And then the stem, I'm just gonna cut into 4. So that's all prepped. Add these tomatoes. There we go. So that is all set. Do that. And I'll see you in a few. All right, so now I have like 3 minutes and 20 seconds on my bacon. It's probably gonna take a little bit longer than that, and that's okay. So I'm gonna take my frying pan. I'm gonna turn my heat to about a 5-6. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. And as that heats up, I'm going to, I've got everything pre-prepped, which is like, we're doing good. And then I'm even 50-50 if I'm gonna add the spinach. I feel like I will, because it'll still be really good. And then I'm gonna grab a tablespoon for my quinoa, and I'm just gonna kind of break it up a little bit. For when I toss it into the pan. So we're gonna let that just take a minute. So I mean, even with my spinach, I'm not gonna need very much. In my scramble. And I might actually just juice the rest of it. Because then spinach juice, I have carrots too. So do a little bit of both. Add it to my. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my veggies. To add them into my frying pan using your spoon. Make sure that you get it all. Take a cloth. And I'm just gonna wipe up my cutting board. Clean clean up the excess tomato juice. And now you can hear the veggies sizzling. I'm going to double check that. So it needs a couple more minutes. I'm going to turn it back on, but I'm going to change it so then it's only on for like 5 more minutes. Give that a little bit extra. I'm going to grab my spatula. Now the spinach is going to shrink as it cooks, as well the mushrooms and the tomatoes and stuff like that. I'm also going to now grab my eggs. And in this case, in all reality, so I am going to grab 2. And I most likely will not end up eating all of it just because of the fact that there is a lot. So I need a bowl. So I'm gonna grab a bowl. Put that in compost. And I'm gonna add a sploosh of water, which is going to extend my mixture for the eggs. As well as giving them a fluffier texture. So as you can see, that's all cooking down. I'm gonna whisk my eggs. And that's all cooking. I'm gonna add some pepper. A little bit of salt. My trusty garlic powder, because I love my garlic, as you guys all know. I'm gonna go with some staple chili peppers. Give it a little bit of a kick. And then I'm actually also going to add a bloop of mayo. So maybe a tablespoon. Mix that all up. So between the spices and the mayo, you can see it's starting to have a bit of a creamy texture. egg mixture. See how this bacon is doing. Oh, yep. Alright. So now our bacon is done. And we're going to, as the egg mixture cooks, we're going to just slide this bacon off the frying pan. So you can see the eggs are getting, they're raising, they're fluffing. Now we're gonna start scrambling them up a bit. Now I'm gonna wait because there is a fair amount of liquid still in these eggs. So once that kind of evaporates a little bit more, then I'm going to add my quinoa in at the end. So we're gonna just let this cook a little bit and I'll see you in a few. All right, so as you can see, the eggs are starting to get a little bit fluffier, more cooked. The liquid is starting to kind of evaporate a little bit. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bacon. I'm going to leave some of it out so that I can have it on the side because I just love bacon. And then the other ones, I'm going to take my French knife and I'm going to slice down the middle, cutting the strips in half, and then I'm going to cut it into pieces. And I'm going to add that into my scramble. Now I'm going to take a spoon, and I'm going to add my quinoa. So probably go 4 scoops, 4 and a bit. Predominantly because there's only so big. The frying pan is out of room. And now I'm going to mix this all together. So the quinoa is now actually going to also help soak up that last little bit of liquid so that it's just a really nice, good consistency and texture. in. And so yeah, like you could put this into a wrap if you wanted. You could, like I said, put it into muffin tins, and then if you like bake it. So if you were gonna put it in the muffin tins, then what I would do is like right now when it's at this point, then I would take it and put it in to do the baking. And I would bake them for probably about 20 minutes. I'm not sharing, so. All right, so now I'm going to put my bacon on my plate. Put my quinoa back in the fridge. So I'll use that for something else. And we are just about ready. So if you wanted to add some cheese into this or something, you could do that as well. I just don't currently have any. So it just is what it is. And there you go. We're gonna have breakfast for dinner.